Hello world, and welcome to Season 2 of Smile, You're on Camera. As you may know, my name is Mia Dirks, and I'm so happy to see you here join us for our second season. We have so many new stories to share here on the show, and I'm so excited to go on this journey with you all at home over the course of the next few weeks. Being able to show you the lives of some of my friends and fellow students has been such a pleasure, and I really can't wait to introduce you to some more great people in the episodes to come. Now, since I saw you last, I had a nice summer break working in New York City and relaxing after a really busy semester last spring. And we can talk about that a little bit more later. I have a few snapshots and quick stories to tell, but we have a show to start now. So for those of you at home who are familiar with the show, welcome back. But for people who are new here, first off, welcome. And I'll tell you a little more about how this show works now. Each week, I bring on a new guest to tell us a little more about their life and involvements. To do this, you'll get to watch a behind-the-scenes look at what a day in their life looks like. Then we'll dive a little deeper into some of the stuff we saw in that video so we can get a better understanding of what's going on. Finally, in our snapshot segment, we discuss some photos and moments sent in from you all at home to see what's going on in your lives. I know that's a pretty simplified version of it, but if you stick around and hang out with us for the next half hour, you will see what I mean. So tonight's guest is someone that I met recently this semester who does some really interesting work, and I wanted to bring her on to talk with some more about it with us. So our first guest of Season 2 is Gabby Lagatella. So welcome to the show, Gabby. I'm so happy to see you here.
Yes, thank you for having me.
Thank you. And for the viewers at home, would you like to introduce yourself and tell us a little more about who you are?
Yeah, of course. So I'm Gabrielle Lagatella. I'm a junior here at SUNY Oswego. I'm a broadcast and mass comm major, and I'm really excited to be here and tell you a little more about my life.
Awesome. I had a really fun time making this video, and I think all of you guys at home are going to enjoy it too. So without further ado, let's start with our first video of the season. Roll it.
Hi, this is my baby Riker, who is all over the place this morning. Yeah, he is the younger one. He just turned 2 years old, and he's honestly such a good baby. I love working with him, but he's very excited to go out, so. To prep for later, when I get home, I go ahead, I fill up their water buckets now. Go ahead, get that out of the way. It's not too hot, so the water isn't gonna get hot. I think it's only getting to 68 today. And then I'll go ahead and put hay in their stalls, I'll sweep. Normally I go ahead and put down more bedding right now, but tonight I have to run to the feed store after classes, so you guys will get to tag on for that. I'll pick up more shavings and more feed since you saw my horses were low. So I go ahead and get it before I run out. Alrighty, so now it's time to go ahead and get their hay ready for this evening. Open a new bale. I always make sure to take the bale and twine off so that doesn't accidentally get thrown in with the hay into a horse's stall. Don't need a horse getting twine wrapped around them. And you can see how that hay is good quality. You don't want it moldy. You want it nice and dry, fresh. You can see some orchard grasses in there, some timothy, and some clover. So this is good stuff, and they eat it right up. So before I leave the barn in the mornings to go up to the house and get ready for classes or my day, I always check a few things. I make sure the horses have hay and water outside, check, and I always want to make sure that their fence is plugged in. They have an electric fence to keep them in. So I want to make sure that's plugged in so they don't get any ideas throughout the day. Granted, they never really do, but it would be my luck the day I forget it. They go ahead and test it out. So now that this is taken care of for the day, I'm gonna head up to the house, get ready for classes, and then go to school. So as a commuter student, I do drive about 20 minutes to classes every day. I'm normally on campus all day. To fit the horse girl stereotype, I do drive a large truck. She's great, but she goes through a lot of gas, so. These guys are ready to come in. So I unplug the fence. Ren is here thinking he's helping. Oops. Tater here is very much ready to come in, but Riker's always first, so. Tater is a pony I've had since she was 2 years old. She's traveled all around the country with me. Her and Ren clearly get along. And her and I've kind of been inseparable since day one. She's been the coolest to train, and I really like spending my time with her. So we're gonna go ahead and go ride her today. So now that we're all done, I'll let Tater cool down by getting some grass to eat in the yard. It's not like we don't have enough for her to trim. You just saw me ride her Western. There's disciplines of riding that I could go into, talk about forever. She was broke Western, did a bunch of cutting, and she also knows the 100 jumpers, which is super cool, but I really just like hopping on after a long day, riding her around for just a little bit, and chill and relax and then spend time with her because she's so sweet and special.
Hello and welcome back, everyone. I hope you enjoyed that video as much as I did. I know I had no idea what the qualities of hay were and what kind of ingredients went into a good bale of hay, but what do you think about the recording process?
It was great. Actually, watching back the video just now made me super happy. It makes me appreciative of my day and how I get to spend it with these animals. And yeah, recording it added a little bit to my daily routine, but it was fun. I think the horses thought it was interesting.
Yeah, I really enjoyed seeing a close-up look of kind of your routines and chores and whatever. And we're gonna talk about a little bit more in depth about some of the things we saw in that video, so make sure to stick around after these short messages.
And it could be your last chance to see one occur for 2 decades, as the next time one will be visible over the continental U.S.
He's May 84. Yarrow told police in the hospital that he had pressed the doorbell and waited.
They mix with oxygen and nitrogen. They become briefly
What's going on?
Yeah, dude, we go on at like 11:30. It's like
No.
What do you mean no?
It's 10:30.
10:30?
Yeah, it's 10:30.
What do you mean it's 10:30?
Hey, Don't touch that. That's my ladder.
Hey, man.
Whoa.
You know this book was already discounted 10%?
Wow.
Wow.
Get a close-up of that one. Matthew,
Broadcast news.
Look at that.
Can we go back inside? I want to sleep in the studio again.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move, so I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day, I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
Hi again, and welcome back, everyone. So let's dive into some of the stuff we saw before the break. I personally thought the video was super cool, like I said, because I had no idea how much work really went into the kind of stuff that you do. So I guess for everyone at home, can you just start from the beginning and just tell us how you got into this line of work?
Yeah, so the horse thing was always a passion of my mom's. And then I, of course, started growing up with that and eventually wanted my own pony. So my mother was awesome, but she did not go get me my own pony. No, she went and got me a huge Appaloosa who wasn't trained or broke at all. So we trained him together, and I think that was the start of the whole thing. He was a turd ball. I love him though immensely, and he'll always have a special place in my heart for that. And then as I got older, my mom was running a lesson program. I was riding those horses, keeping them tuned up for her. And as a joke, I got a job at the Renaissance Festival here in New York. And the joust crew actually picked me up, and I started riding in the shows. So I was training like the horses you see the knights riding. I would ride in the shows, do the whole lance and quintain routine, which you have a lance and you put it through a tiny little metal circle, and yeah, it was quite a thing. And after that, I knew I was hooked. I wanted to start training other people's horses professionally, and there I went.
That's awesome. I had no idea that it was kind of grown out of a family relationship like that.
Yeah.
Can you give us some of like the responsibilities that come with being a professional trainer and having to take care of other people's horses like that? I'm sure you must be like careful, I guess, but it seems like a lot of work to make sure you're doing the right thing.
Yeah, so it is quite a bit of work. I'll never forget my first client horse. I was so excited. They officially signed that piece of paper that says, hey, you're responsible for her now. It's hard juggling it all, but it comes easy when you think of them all as your own horse. So anything I would do with my own, I do with theirs. They get top care, and I make time for them. They're part of your family. I never saw any distinction between client horses and my own. They all got equally loved and annoyed by me every day.
Wow, that's amazing. And I'm just curious too, like, do you have an estimate of how many horses you think you've taken care of over the years? Like, is it a small number, or is it a huge number in the hundreds, or?
It has to be in the hundreds, because when I was down south working for a trainer and helping him, we would have at least 30 horses in at a time. Thinking of my own barn, at least 30 horses at a time. And I've been doing this since, oh geez, it's over 10 years now, probably 15, 20. Wow, yeah, close to 20 years now. I can't even put a number on it, but many. Of course, there's a few special ones that I'll never forget. But yeah, each of them made an impact on me for sure.
Wow, and you mentioned you did work in the South too, so where in the South were you placed?
Yeah, so I grew up in northern New York, and I made my way down to southern Tennessee. That is quite a difference, but it was fun. You get to learn a different way of life, a different way of living, and a different type of horse training for sure.
Yeah, I'm sure it's a whole different culture than up here, and I'm not sure if you've been anywhere else in terms of competitions, or did you have a favorite spot that you really loved working in, or even just going to see and seeing the life there and culture?
Yeah. So I think probably everyone's favorite is Fort Worth and the Will Rogers Stadium. That's the coolest. You have so many world shows there. NCHA, so the National Cutting Horse Association, holds a bunch of their shows there. Appaloosa Worlds used to be there. It's quite a historic stadium, and many of the best horsemen in the United States have rode there. So that was definitely one of my favorites. But I think my favorite place I traveled to was in Louisiana. We got to stop at the Duck Commander Station on a break, and I'll never forget that. That was so cool, getting to meet like the cast and crew of Duck Dynasty and seeing their workplace. It's totally off subject, but that was my favorite.
What, does it look the same as it looks on TV or no?
Identical. There is no difference.
Wow.
And they must just set up a camera and film because nothing changes.
Wow, that's a cool thing to put on your resume. You got Duck Dynasty.
Yeah, pretty cool.
Also, like in terms of the future too, do you see yourself doing this as a job or continuing? I know as you're in the broadcasting program now, it's obviously a huge difference between the two worlds, but do you see yourself having that playing a role in your life in the future, or is it kind of more of a personal hobby type thing?
That's a great question that I will continue to think on. I definitely see it staying in my life for quite a while. Definitely as a hobby. I would love to maybe work it into my future career with broadcast, maybe do some horse journalism on the side, do some broadcasts for AQHA, world shows. I don't think I'll ever be without horses. We'll leave it at that.
That's so cool that it's like a lifelong pathway. Now let's segue into the school. Like you mentioned, you're in the broadcasting program, as am I. So what's your career path there? Do you have any goals or aspirations you'd like to achieve?
Yeah, so I definitely want to do reporting, anchoring in the future. I love TV journalism, and I would like to do more of that foreign correspondent work. I love traveling, and obviously with the horses, got a taste of that. And it's fun traveling for your career. You get to meet so many people, see so many places, and it would be great to go ahead and do that reporting in foreign countries and meet other people over there.
Do you have a specific country or place that you'd like to work in?
Yeah, for sure Italy.
Wow.
My family's super Italian, so it would be great to go over there and do some work.
Yeah, I know my family at home who's watching this will love that too. My grandma's from Italy too, so it'll be good. Do you have a specific region or place that you dream of visiting or working in?
I don't know if there's a specific region or place in Italy. I'd like to go over there and explore them all, but northern Italy seems like quite a vibe.
I know, I've personally been there. My grandma's from Trento, all the way up north, basically in Austria.
Yeah.
I've been there. The mountains are beautiful. It's like you get to go snow-capped mountains. She lives in a little valley, town in a valley. It's just so picturesque and amazing. So I hope you end up there one day.
Yeah.
And one final thing I'd like to wrap up with. I know you're a runner. I had to put this in there because we've talked about this before.
Yeah.
And I was a track and field athlete in high school. So what are some of your hobbies, or like, can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Yeah, so I started running kind of as a joke. I was riding less horses because I got out of training professionally, going back to being a full-time student, and I needed something to do with all this time and energy. So I went ahead and I started running every day, and then I fell in love with that, and I can't imagine my life without the sport now. I do a bunch of fun local races, travel across the state. I did a half marathon this summer, which 3 years ago, if you would have asked if I was going to be doing that, I would have laughed, because what? That's insane. And like I said, now it's great. My dog comes with me, keeps him busy as well.
That's so cool. Yeah, just one final thing to wrap in there. I think Gabby's a really cool person, so I had to put that in there as a fellow runner. But after the break, we will be looking at some snapshots from your lives. You think you're interested? Want to find out more? You should stick around to find out.
La, 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 la. Breathe. La, 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 la. La 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 la. Freeze.
I want to eat apples and bananas. I need to eat apples and bananas. Why can't I eat apples and bananas?
Support the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks to help provide meals to those in need. Join us at feedingamerica.org.
We'll deep dive into our feelings in our Real Talk segment. Stay tuned because it's about to get real.
And it could be your last chance to see one occur for 2 decades, as the next time one will be visible over the continental U.S.
He's May 84. Yarrow told police in the hospital that he had pressed the doorbell and waited.
They mix with oxygen and nitrogen and become briefly
All right, everyone, so welcome to Snapshots for tonight. Let's take a look at some of our first snapshots of the season. These are some photos I've collected from our crew, audience members at home, and some of my own photos from the summer. So let's see what everyone's been up to. If we could put the first picture up now, please. So this is the cute little story. Over the summer or last spring, my parents started sending me photos of a bunny that lived in our backyard. And I thought I would never make it home in time after the semester to see the little bunny, but he would live outside my window and I would just look out and he would be a little friend. If it was a boy, his name was Blue. If it was a girl, his name was Blue, or her name was Bluebell. I think it's so cute. Don't you? I don't know about you, but I love bunnies. They're so adorable.
It's kind of precious. I always kind of wanted to capture one in my backyard, but you know, that never really worked out, so.
Oh. Yeah, we just let it sit out there, but he would sit out there all summer and I'd just be like, hi. But a funny story now is my housemates and I up here have recently found that a little bunny lives in our bush outside. So it's like, they're just following me around everywhere.
So you have multiple pet rabbits?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Not officially, but yeah.
They're your rabbits.
Do you have any like dream pet that you would have?
No. No, I feel like I've had my dream pets. Having horses around has been awesome. I have the best border collie in the world. I don't know, I think I wanted a rabbit. I mean, I had one when I was really little, but I was like too young to do anything with them. So maybe now I'd get a rabbit, yeah.
Yeah, it's like my dream to have like a little baby one and just watch it grow up. Let's move to the next one if we can, please. So this was sent in by our graphics operator, Emily. She's a member of the crew team here at Oswego, which is like the rowing team for those of you at home that may not know. She was at a practice last night at the marina until night, and this was the picture. And first of all, I love it just because it's such a pretty picture, like composition-wise and everything, and the colors. And honestly, too, it reminded me of Halloween, which is like Halloween is coming up because it's October 1st today, guys. Reminder. So what do you think? We're officially in fall now.
Yeah, I think it's great. I'm excited for Halloween. I'm excited for fall. I don't like that midterms are
Let's not talk about that.
Yeah, but you brought up October, so.
Let's not talk about that one. Let's not for tonight. But yeah, I'm getting used to fall now, and especially too with baking too. Like one of my friends at home, we've been exchanging recipes, like we need to try this, so that's like my favorite part of fall, I think. But we see the leaves changing on campus, and now we got this spooky moonlight views too. So thank you, Emily, for sending in that photo. That was really, really cool submission. And if we could move to the next one, please. So this is from another one that I submitted because this was from my summer. I worked in New York City over the summer, and this is in Madison Square Park in the Flatiron District. And I would just take lunch breaks outside, and there'd be this jazz band playing. I saw them play a couple different times, but this is just the epitome of like peacefulness, and I loved it. I don't know, it was just very summery to me.
Yeah.
We talked about fall, now we're talking about summer, but
I know, throw it back for a quick second, right?
Did you know there was a park, there could be a park in the middle of New York City?
No, I know. I know I'm probably going to have to make my way down to New York City for the broadcast stuff. I'm a little nervous for my city girl moment, but that looked quite nice.
Yeah.
I could get into that.
It was just so peaceful. I'd just sit there in the sun and on the little bench and listen to the music play, and you have like all the car honks behind you, but it was just such a peaceful area, and I recommend for those of you at home that are going to go to New York City to go take a look there. Yeah.
You might just sell me on it yet.
Yeah. You'll be fine. You'll be fine. And can we look at the next photo, please? So this is from one of our members here at the studio as well, Sam Keeney. She has 2 frogs named Pistachio and Walnut, right? Those are their names?
Yes.
Okay, just making sure. So quick shout out to Pistachio and Walnut. They are so cute.
So cute.
What do you think? What do you think?
I'm absolutely obsessed. I think I was telling you earlier that I was just out today on my nature walk run with my dog, and I stopped and took so many pictures of frogs because it's probably going to be the last warm weekend we have, and I took full advantage of that. So I'm perfectly fine with looking at more pictures of frogs.
Yeah, they were so cute. Like, and I love the color of them. It's like and Sam, you did a great job of picking names because the pistachio is obviously a pistachio color.
So
looks just like ice cream.
Oh my gosh, don't make me hungry.
Yeah. Where did you go to see the frogs? You said you went to see.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
where can people at home find that?
Oh, well, the Sterling Nature Center. It's right over by Fairhaven. It's like my favorite spot to just go chill. There's a bunch of good trails to run on. Also, it's just quiet and peaceful. It gives me a break from everything. It's right on the lake too, so you get to enjoy the water.
I've been there before. It's really peaceful.
Yeah.
Do you have any other hiking recommendations or nature recommendations around here? I'm trying to figure stuff out.
And if you want to go a little further away, the Keuka Outlet Trail, there's a bunch of old mills on it. That's where I ran the half marathon on, and it was gorgeous. Half the time I was running, and I was running with a friend. We'd be like, oh my gosh, let's stop and look at the frogs. Let's look at this pond. And then we're like, oh my gosh, we're in the middle of a race. So yeah, it's definitely worth going. I'd go again, for sure.
Totally, I'd love to check that out too.
Yeah.
I don't know about running through it, but.
Yeah. I don't know again either, for being honest. That was a bit much.
Well, thank you to everyone at home for sending snapshots in. I would love to see what's going on in your lives at home, especially after this long summer break. I know people have had busy summers, so there's got to be one good picture that came out of it. So do you have a snapshot in mind? Send it into our Instagram at smile_WTOP10 to have your snapshot featured next episode. It's a really cool opportunity. I'm looking forward to seeing what you all have to share. So thank you, Gabby, so much for coming on tonight. It was so much fun learning more about you and some of your work. Do you have any final thoughts?
No, it was great being here. I'm happy to share it with everyone, especially shine a little light on the horse industry and keep that going and hopefully get some more people involved in it.
Yeah, I know. It was super unique perspective. So thank you again. And thank you all at home for joining us to celebrate the start of our 2nd season. That's all the time we have for today, but make sure to tune in again in 2 weeks to meet another amazing person and learn another amazing story. Thanks again, everyone. Have a good night, and remember to smile because you're on camera.